Please continue. Yeah, that is something that we're currently figuring out.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
And that as well.
That as well. Okay. Okay, Emily, all these colored and blue writings are all hot.
I'm not sure, Professor.
Let me try and see. I'll click on one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems like it's hot. Let me go back to that.
Mhm.
It's behind this. I gotta move this in here.
And
Mm.
when you feel like you're done navigating, you can let me know and then I can ask you a couple questions. You
Okay, no, I guess I haven't fully explored it. I mean, I think some of the things I'm looking to have it lead me to when I look to see if there's anything to allow me to enter, I don't see it. So um, let's see if I can go back over that again. Of
Mhm,
course, those terms are available, so we won't do that one.
mhm.
Um, try another one. Okay, so, okay, got it. Try this one again. Okay, let's go through all that. Try this one again. Here says we did that one.
Is there like something specific that you're looking for?
No, I was looking, I went through the instructor portion and it went through, some, it says right here, it says, this is where we'll show you instructions, what we got for you and how you'll use it. I don't see where you go from there. I mean, you can't navigate from there, it seems. There's
Yes.
nothing, there's nothing behind it, it seems.
Yes, Professor. So thank you so much for bringing that point up because that is actually one of the things that we are currently working on.
Mhm.
So the intention behind this specific test was um for us to like clarify, okay, like what needs to be improved on. And
Mhm.
what I'm hearing, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the instructor's instructions and the student's instructions are something that needs to be improved on so that you can actually understand what it is, correct?
Exactly. That's correct.
Okay. Um, I do have some questions for you,
Okay.
regarding feedback. So, do you think you can tell me why your colleague would have recommended this site to you?
I
Or-
guess to encourage collaboration and also to try to have, I guess it's the students, look at diverse thoughts and see how they could better critically think. That's what I'm thinking would be the value of this.
Thank you, Professor. And are you confident that your understanding of CoLab matches with the builder's intention?
Well, I think if that's the intention, I think yeah, I think I am.
Mm. And do you think that you got stuck at any point through this navigation?
Hmm. Yes, with the instructor part, the one that didn't give me any pathway.
Okay. And do you have any questions that you would ask the author for clarification?
Hmm. Okay. I think you know where the gaps are, so those are questions I think you already have the answers to that you have to attend to. Um, I guess one question I would ask is, do does the author feel that they have a full grasp on where maybe a student might not see the value in it? Okay, meaning that, yeah, I'm doing this, but why am I doing it? Um, I think from the point of view that I could say bringing together diverse thoughts is really what is the value of this. Okay, but what does that really mean from the point of view of a student? What's the value of that? And I think the value of that is really not only increased learning, but also the idea of critical thinking. And I think one of the things that's most important in any student's college education is to learn how to critically think. And that's something that's not oftentimes emphasized. I believe if this tool can be used to help to do that, that would be very, very useful.
Okay. Um, I believe those are all of the questions that I have for you today. And but is there anything else that you would like to add that we didn't get to mention before?
Hmm. Okay, what prompted this?
What prompted this?
Yeah, what prompted to have this CoLab concept be set up?
Yes. So Dr. Modell created this whole web application, and the intention behind it was to make the professor a rock star.
Really?
Just to help the professor feel like they are actually helping their students in a positive way. And so his intention was to bring collaboration back into the group, back into group work between the student and the teacher, and but not letting there be not letting judgment be a factor. The whole thing
Okay.
behind this is to also be non-judgmental and accept
Hmm.
everyone's thoughts. Um, so that's really like what he wanted to hit. Um, and yeah, I'm just here behind him. I'm here helping him because I really do believe that something like this is needed, and that a lot of students my age, or just in general, are not really fond of group work because students may feel as though they do all of the work and there's just
Hmm.
like a freeloader on the side. But if
Right.
something like this that can help the students and the teacher feel like there's actually a like there's an actual solution, and I think
Hmm.
that would be really beneficial and help students learn and help teachers become better teachers.
Okay. So are you saying that this application was really designed with the intentions of helping to have the students embrace the idea of working together?
Yes, of working together and to not think that if you need help, that there is not going to be any help, that the teacher is there for you. The teacher will be there to help you. This is
Uh-huh.
just a tool to get to that point.
Okay. Okay, I get it. One of the things, of course, I put all my students in teams all the time. I do that all the time.
Yes.
And the reason for that is collaboration. But I also designed it in such a way that it doesn't really penalize the student at all. It doesn't. The student has an opportunity to work with other team members so that they can take on certain let's say challenges that they otherwise would not take on. Because sometimes students say, "Oh, this is just too much for me." But the whole point is that when you have a few other people, complaining about the same thing, it's not as painful as all that. Okay. But what it also does is it gives you a chance to work together as a team because in the real world, you got to work together as a team. And yes, there will be people who are, they call it loafers. So they do social loafing. Okay.
Mhm.
Some who are much, let's say, industrious than others. You're gonna have a blend of all these kinds of people. There's also other things that comes to play too that really plays a part in a very powerful way, and it's missed. And that's this: that when you work with a person, the person sometimes brings a skill set to the table that's not really um, taken into consideration. For example, I think I spoke about this in our class. Maybe I did. And if I repeat myself, please forgive me. But the idea is that, each of us learn differently. Meaning, for example, we learn by what we see, we learn by what we hear, or we learn by what we do. Okay, learn by what you hear is called auditory. Learn by what you see is called visual. And learn by what you do is called kinesthetic. Okay. Now, all three of those different styles are in us, but there's always one that's dominant, always one that's dominant. Okay. And that dominant style is one style that, makes it easier for you to learn. Having said that, do you know what your style is? Do you prefer learning style is?
I learned from watching YouTube videos and having it explained to me, and but also like reading captions at the same time.
Okay, so you're visual.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So you're visual. And I'm visual as well. Okay, so what's interesting about that is this: if you have a team of, let's say, individuals, and they have different learning styles, there's something that a person might get from let's say, the reading or whatever that you would not get because you don't learn the way in which they learn. So what you have in a team now, you have the ability to really learn in different ways, although it's not your strength, by relying upon your teammates who see certain things.
Mm.
When I conduct my workshops, when I do my consultancy and I do my workshops, I have people, identify what their learning styles are, just to get an idea. It's fun. I play with them with it, but also, they have to understand it. But I also tell them this. what you need to learn, remember the question, what you learned today? What you need to learn is that they have a different style than yours. And because their style is different, guess what? You need to make sure you kind of dress things a certain way to meet them where they are. Or also you can use their skills and their strengths to make up for what you might be missing. So there's a lot of value that's there, that's almost intangible value that you don't see. What I also try to do, which again is again a little hidden style of mine, I try to design my teams where I have a good blend of gender, at least one female in each team. At least I try to do that.
Mhm.
And because the perspective is different, totally different. And sometimes the guys might not get it, but the ladies will. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a team that has everything you need to be successful. The question is, are you going to use that or not? And that's where it becomes really exciting about the teamwork. And it doesn't penalize you while you're doing it. So what you're saying that you're trying to do with this intention here, I try to do that with my teams and with the challenges I pose among the teams. You'll see that from your own experiences that certain challenges, certain individuals on the team love more than other challenges because of their learning style.
Hmm.
Does that
No,
help?
yes, it does help. Thank you. My question for you is, would you ever see yourself using this sort of device once it's all up and upgraded? Would you ever see yourself using something like this in your classroom?
Well, if I understand correctly, all of the different aspects of how this is supposed to be used, I see it as a tool that can have the students talk to each other, the professor and students talk to each other, and again, maybe create a forum where everyone's talking to each other. Okay. And funny enough, I've already designed my course that way already. Okay. I have different discussion forums, which students hardly ever use.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember I had a student that was saying to me, I think she was a pretty good student. Halfway through the course, professor, they're not answering my questions and they're not responding to me, and you know, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I said, well, did you communicate with them through the forum? So no, I didn't. I sent them a text, I sent them an email, and they didn't respond. I said, well, the reason why I set the discussion forum is because I'm on all those teams. All those teams are mine. I'm on each of those teams. So whatever goes on, I'm seeing it. I'm watching it going on. So clearly, if you put it in a forum, can't say you didn't do it, and you can't say you didn't respond to something because it was in the forum. So it becomes now like what's the word? An accountability factor. And it's also one that puts another person in check because they know that I asked Emily for something, I asked her for a certain time, she didn't give it to me, and I sent her this note in ample time and she didn't do that. Guess what? I see that you sent a note to Emily and she didn't answer you. Okay, you won't be penalized for that. She will be because she didn't do her job. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like a built-in, feature that's there that allows for the collaboration, on different levels, but the students don't use it.
Yeah, because the way we usually communicate is either through group chats or through email, or we just talk to each other in person. So the
And
forum,
that's fine. And that's fine as a supplementary thing. It's fine. It's really fine to do that. And if it's more efficient, fine. But what happens is you lose a feature that is your, what's the word? Your authority.
authority? What do you mean by that?
Well, the authority you have to ask for something and get it because the professor's watching.
Ah, okay. That advantage point that
Yeah,
like,
and you're not the bad guy.
mhm.
You just asking for something and you're watching how a person plays the game.
Hmm.
And how they're playing the game is being watched by somebody, by someone who's watching all the game players.
Those are all my questions I have for you. And just to ask again, do you have any questions for me regarding like anything?
Okay, okay. Well, what was the planned timetable for launching this?
as soon as possible.
Oh,
uh,
really? Really?
yes, as soon as possible.
Mhm,
Um, once I get once I get these tests back, the data back, I know
mhm,
now what the next step is, which is then go back and improve and design and then go
mhm.
back with the tests. And then after that, then it would be ready to launch. There's no like specific time frame or there's no like
Okay.
specific date, like, oh, this is when um
Okay.
but I know that he wants to do it as soon as possible.
Who's doing the actual software work?
Dr. Modell.
He's doing the software work. He's developing it. He's the one who's going through the application, design the application thoroughly.
Yes, he's the one doing all the coding behind the scenes,
The
like,
code. That's what I was looking for. Coding. He's doing the coding.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he's the one.
O- Okay. So okay. And how did you come to be involved with this?
It first started off sure the Sure program last year, and we were working on CoLab,
Mhm,
and he invited me to do an independent study the following semester, the fall
mhm,
semester of last year, but
mhm,
I couldn't because my schedule was too packed. But I had some open availability, and I was really interested in coding and web design, and I just
mhm,
wanted the experience.
mhm,
So I decided to hop on the train again. But it first started off
mhm.
short program 2023, and it was like
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Well,
Mhm.
again, it sounds like it's an interesting endeavor. For those people who, to those professors and instructors who don't would like to have the team applications done because they feel that it's not manageable, whatever. This would be a great tool to have them say, okay, throw everyone into it and see what they do.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
so it's interesting. So, another question: Can you use this as a team?
Do you mind rephrasing that question? I'm not sure.
Sure, sure. It says students here. You know, student.
Mhm.
Can a group of students use that as a tool without being independent, but together as a collective unit?
I see. I see. There is a section for weekly check-ins and
Hmm.
self and peer assessment. So you're able to, while you're working in groups, you're able to assess how you personally have been contributing to the project, and you can also assess how other people are contributing to that.
Okay.
So that is like the one of the ways that we can view this site as like a team, instead
Hmm.
of being like individualized. Um, and I believe that I'm not entirely too sure if there's another way, but that's like the one way that I know for sure
Okay.
that
With assessment. Okay.
Mhm,
Hmm. Okay.
mhm.
Wow. From what you've gotten from feedback from other people right now, do you see any negative, let's say, sides of this where it might seem or appear punitive?
What's the definition of punitive? Or
It's like a punishment, it's something that would give a person, let's say, feeling that this someone's watching or someone's, um, gonna penalize me. Punitive is being penalized or being, um, held accountable in a negative way for either doing or not doing.
Mhm. Yes. So at first I did see it that way. And so I spoke to Dr. Modell and he clarified that his approach is to be non-judgmental and to
Hmm.
simply have a conversation with the students and not make them feel bad because sometimes students don't do things because they're going through personal stuff at home, but just
Hmm.
having the professor acknowledge the fact that something is off,
Hmm.
um, hopefully won't turn the student off and, make them think like, oh, like I'm gonna get penalized, but it's simply to just let them know that the professor does care. And
Okay.
so that's not, I understand why students would think that way, but um the message or the way that it would be done would not be in a punishing way. It would be in a caring, um
Okay.
genuinely wanting to help sort of way.
Okay, okay. So I think that has to be like highlighted, right? You know, I think you mentioned before early on that it might be not it's non-judgmental and so forth and so on. But I think you need to make sure you elaborate more upon what that is, because there's going to be a reluctance to to work in that space, because the question would be, in the back of their minds, whether it's something that might be somewhat punitive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, okay. Um, Anything else, Professor?
No, no, I think that's pretty much it. But I think, it's an interesting tool. It definitely has tremendously wonderful intentions, and hopefully we'll get more people to let's say get the students more collaborative, than what they have been doing, based upon the fact that some might not want to put their students in teams and do anything with them as teams. So I personally I kind of love it doing it because it's fun for me. But because I like to have them think and feel confused and then work it out,
Mhm.
That's a fun thing, because when you get to the other side, you feel good about we've come. Okay, that's really why I kind of do it.
Mhm.
Like I said, again, this is a wonderful tool to help those who don't think about exploring that type of, well, let's say, challenging learning. It'll allow them to maybe get a glimpse of that.
Yes, and that's actually, a side that I had a feeling that you were gonna give great feedback, but the reason why I wanted to put this in front of you was because you already do group work, teamwork, and so you already understand the mindset of students and teachers that work in groups. So you bring up a great point, and bringing this to a professor who doesn't usually do group work, and I already have some professors in mind that I'm thinking of asking, um, because maybe it's because they don't have something like this that can facilitate teamwork.
True, true, true.
It's a
Well,
matter.
yeah, well, again, I'm a consultant. I do this, I do this for a living. I get involved with this all the time with my workshop and things. So, I mean, I create models and tools all the time. So that to me, what I design is something that I design for my clients in particular. So I might have a different kind of, let's say, approach to doing the same kind of subject matter, for two different clients. Um, I'll be working with a client next month, and actually with that client, I'll be going on a retreat with them. So I'll probably miss one of our classes and one of my other classes. And what what I've designed for them already is the idea that they have a large array of people and they want to